This video by Fresno Investment Incorporated is regarding your investment between two companies within the manufacturing industry. The members of our team are Cameron Wiest, Dina Ashraf, Christian Franquez, and Rodrigo Rubio. The two companies that we have chosen as the best in this industry are Sony and Canon. Sony was developed in Tokyo, Japan in 1946. It started as a small electronic shop. It turned into an engineering company and created Japan's first tape recorder. Sony came to the United States in 1960 and established Sony Corporation of America. Canon was also developed in Japan in 1933. They started by first producing cameras, but didn't introduce their first camera to the public until 1936. In 1997, they reached 100 million units of production. They began listing its American depository receipts on the New York Stock Exchange. In 2012, Canon receives a Technology and Engineering Emmy Award. Canon also had a focus in commercial printing and healthcare with X-rays and MRIs with other similar medical products. Sony's payout of dividends is increasing. This increase in the long run ultimately means more money back into the pockets of the investors. Sony has ownership of the PlayStation brand, the #1 selling video game console in the world. Sony is committed to making a positive impact in communities by making education the center of attention with their charitable donations. They focus in other areas such as art, culture, technology, and environment. Sony decreased their investments in fixed assets by 35% over the span of 3 years. This is a negative attribute because when analyzing the investments of a corporation, we would like to see increases in fixed assets, not decreases. Sony pays out less dividends to its investors than Canon. As an investor, this makes Sony a less appealing option due to the amount of dividends given back to the investor. Sony does minimal purchasing of common stock. For example, the only year seen that they purchase common stock is the year of 2017. This negatively impacts the amount of investors they receive. Current and future competitors may have greater financial, technical, labor, and marketing resources available to them than those available to the businesses of Sony. Sony does not have success in other departments beside video games. Sony has continued to have a current ratio and quick ratio lower than 1 for both years. Their current ratio was 0.86 in 2016 and 0.92 in 2017, while their quick ratio was 0.73 in 2016 and 0.71 in 2017. Compared to Sony, Canon's investing into fixed assets decreased by only 28%, whereas Sony decreased by 35%. This positive attribute for Canon shows that even though both companies are investing less into fixed assets, Canon is more reliable due to the percentage of decrease being lower. By purchasing more common stock, Canon is able to pay more to its investors. Canon retains an ideal current ratio of 2.1. This means that the firm holds at least twice the amount of current assets than its current liabilities. Their current ratio for 2016 was 2.01 and increased to 2.14 in the year 2017. Canon believes its working capital will be sufficient for its requirements for the foreseeable future. From 2016 to 2017, Canon had an increase of 6,790 million yen, about $60 million, which could be due to their dependence of fixed assets and investments regarding the levels and timings of purchases. Smartphones are improving their camera qualities every year, which would put Canon's major production line of cameras into a decline in the near future. This forces them to rely on investing in their other departments that are not as well known to the public. This decrease in common stock purchase affects Canon in a negative aspect since the less it purchases, the more amount of common stock there is in the market, leading to less money being distributed to its investors. With all of this in mind, our team believes that Canon Incorporated is the best option for your investment. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope that you will take this into consideration when you make your final choice.